Hello, welcome to another show of Business Secrets Revealed. Thank you for tuning in. Today I have a very special guest with me. Ryan Lilly is the Vice President of the Ocala Chamber and Economic Partnership. He is also an author, an entrepreneur, a coach, and a public speaker. Ryan, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me, Sonda.
Could you please tell me, in your current role, what you do?
Yes, so I work at the Power Plant Business Incubator, which is a facility that serves entrepreneurs throughout Marion County. We help anyone that has a business idea, whether it be a tech startup or a traditional mom and pop small business. We help them make connections, we help them with their business plans, with marketing, whatever it is that they need help with. And we've been doing that now since 2012 in Ocala.
Yeah.
And we've had 24 graduates from our incubator program that have now created over 300 jobs in the community.
That's huge.
At the end of the day, that's what we're there to do, is to stimulate the local economy.
That's really cool. Yeah. And you guys do that in partnership with the Ocala CEP?
We do, yes. We are a part of the CEP. I work for the CEP, and yes. We really take advantage of our CEP partnership in helping these companies grow. A lot of incubators are part of university environments, and the advantage that we feel the CEP gives us is that as these companies are scaling, we're able to help them make connections much easier than they would if they were at a university.
What have you found to be kind of the factors that really help these companies scale, as opposed to so many other companies that are trying to start up that may be having a harder time?
So first of all, we bring them into the same space together. There's something to be said about growing a startup around other people versus trying to do it by yourself in isolation.
Right.
So there's a lot of camaraderie that comes with that, and a real support system of other people who are going through the same things as you are and want to see you be successful. A part of it also is accountability. So when companies come into the incubator, we work with them to set goals for their business, and we meet with them regularly to see how they're doing on those goals. And, we didn't originally see that as a benefit or necessarily part of our value proposition, but we've heard from several companies that have been through the incubator that to them that's what mattered most, was that someone was going to be checking on them and someone was going to be monitoring their progress, and that accountability caused them to go a lot faster in their development.
That makes sense, because it's so easy to get lost in all of the daily tasks that pop up when you're trying to start a business. So you need to kind of keep that vision in mind and the goals that you set.
Absolutely.
And making sure that you're staying on track.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before this position, what were you doing?
So before this, and I've been here now about 6 years, I was in Illinois running an incubator for about 3 years. And before that, I was in Virginia with an incubator for about a year. So I've been working now for about 10 years with entrepreneurs in 3 states, and I've had the opportunity to work with about 1,200 of them now from all different industries, and a lot of diversity there.
And what kind of topics do you speak on when you are doing public speeches all over the country?
So what I'm doing now is focusing on something I call ecosystem hacking. There's a movement to create entrepreneurial ecosystems or communities of entrepreneurs in towns and cities across the United States. And so I've created a program and a book called Ecosystem Hacking, designed to help communities build those entrepreneurial communities faster. And really it's based on a sort of 5-step process that I've come up with to identify entrepreneurs, to connect them, give them what they need, so obviously support them, take away those things that are hindering their growth, those barriers that exist, and then lastly telling their story. And I think that if entrepreneurs are able to do those, if communities are able to do those 5 things for entrepreneurs, they'll be able to better build that community of startups in their city.
So you have worked with thousands of entrepreneurs. What would you say are some of the common struggles that you see from one to another?
Sure. So I think first of all, just getting other people around their idea. A lot of times people, again, try to do this by themselves or in isolation. They're afraid to tell other people about their idea. But at events like 1 Million Cups and other things that we do, it's really about bringing the community around them. And as they're able to start getting feedback and getting connections, that's really, I think, the most healthy thing they can have is other people. A lot of people in starting a business think that their first need is capital, and so they come to us and, hey, I need a loan, or I need a grant, or whatever. We try to encourage people to start small, start organically, and do what you can with as little as you can. And then once you've scaled, once you've really started growing, maybe there will be that need for capital down the line. But really to bootstrap it as long as possible is one of the things that we try to teach.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what other kinds of points would you, and I know I'm going into what you do for a living,
Sure.
but what kind of other tips do you usually give out to entrepreneurs that are either starting out or looking to scale their business? Kind of what path do you take them down as they work with you?
So, another thing is finding a mentor, and not just a business mentor, but preferably someone who's been in that industry or that business before.
Yeah.
Someone who's walked the same path as you. I think a lot of times entrepreneurs are hesitant to do that because they think, no one's going to want to invest that time in me. But especially in communities like here in Ocala, people are incredibly generous with their time, and there's a lot of business owners here who are willing to kind of give back and to provide that advice and mentorship.
Yeah.
So
And some of them enjoy it.
absolutely, yes, and that's part of their sense of contribution and giving back. So we help to find those mentors, and I think that's again one of the most important things to have.
That's really cool. So
Yeah.
it's really just all about connections and being connected with the right people and being able to share what you're doing with your business.
It is.
And getting them on board.
It is, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
What are some trends that you see going on in Ocala and in our surrounding areas?
Sure. So obviously there's some industries that are really strong here in Ocala and have been for a long time. Equine is one of them.
Yes.
And in fact, we just created a new program to help equine entrepreneurs, people who have created new equine products. Everything from a CT X-ray scanner for horses. We helped a gentleman who came up with a massage device for horses to help them in their stalls actually scratch their backs.
Yes.
So a lot of interesting innovation happening there. Healthcare is another big one, and I know that's one of your passions.
Yes.
A few years ago, we created something called the Ocala Health Center for Health Innovation.
Okay.
And it's a building on our campus dedicated just to people who have come up with new healthcare products and services. And so basically, we're taking those existing industries that have been successful here in Ocala, and we're finding ways to create innovation and entrepreneurship around them. And we've had a lot of success doing that.
Okay, that's awesome. And I know that you guys are actively working on bringing new businesses to Ocala, and we've got some really cool, exciting projects going on. So that's, I don't know if you're allowed to speak about that or if it's...
So we have one of our vice presidents is Brett Barnes, and he's our director of business attraction. He does a phenomenal job in attracting those new large projects to town. And a lot of them are sort of top secret.
Right.
Can't talk about them. But we're very fortunate to have him. A lot of communities are struggling with that right now, trying to attract those projects from outside the community. That's one of the reasons that I talk so much about entrepreneurship. But I think that a diversified economy is doing all those things. We're attracting companies, we're helping new ones, and we're doing everything we can to help entrepreneurs at every stage of growth.
That's really cool. I love our chamber.
Awesome.
I love how fast our community is growing. It's really exciting to see it. Any parting words or advice that you would like to give other than what you have already given?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that if you're an entrepreneur out there and you're starting out, reach out to someone from the CEP. If you're here in Ocala, if you're in another community, reach out to your local chamber or incubator. There's people that are there and willing to help you become successful. And if you are a community that is looking to do more of that, looking to serve entrepreneurs and help them grow, I'm certainly happy to help with that any way that I can.
Do you want to mention 1 Million Cups?
Yes, 1 Million Cups is a national program. It's in 180 cities in the U.S. It happens every Wednesday morning at 9:30 a.m. here in Ocala. And we are taking off next week for Thanksgiving, but with that holiday exception, we meet every week. And it's totally free. You don't have to be part of the incubator or the chamber or anything like that to come. It's open to the whole community. And you don't even have to RSVP, just show up and start making connections and meeting other entrepreneurs.
I recently presented on 1 Million Cups myself. It was an amazing experience, and I absolutely encourage any entrepreneur to go on there. And it's now live streamed as well.
It is.
Nationwide, right?
It is on Facebook. You can find us online every week.
That's huge. Okay, well, how do we find the Ocala CEP's website?
Yes, it's www.ocalacep.com, and you'll find all of our information on there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you for
so
coming.
much, Sonda. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We had another great interview, and I look forward to seeing you at the next one.